Okay, good afternoon everyone and welcome to Speaking Warrior Training with SML1 and Nanyang Tsehui School. So today, exactly on Tuesday, 21st December 2021, with me, Amanda, will be your Master of Ceremony today. So I am so happy to see all the trainees behind the stage. I can see that they are all already excited and ready to give their best performance. And also, I would like to greet all the audience from YouTube who is joining us and watch us through YouTube. So, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so first, let me tell you the purpose of having real stage. We know that this is the beginning for all the students. This is their first journey for them in the public speaking journey. Through the school, students got the chance to learn public speaking. In the beginning, they don't feel comfortable speaking in front of the public, but through this platform, the school gives them a chance to boost their confidence through public speaking class. They did it very well, and we do believe, like SML always say, making you better you. Not only having good skills in delivering speech, but we also need to have good manners so we can make impact in our life. Ladies and gentlemen, the speakers are all ready to showcase what they have learned during the class. Are you ready to watch? I would like to give you a spirit far from here and let us meet our two judges today who are experienced in public speaking field and also SML1 trainers. First, I would like to invite our first judge, Miss Lisa. Hello, Miss Lisa.
Yes, hello Amanda. Can you hear my sounds clearly?
Yes, all good, Miss.
All good. Okay, well, so good afternoon to all the trainees. And then I don't know why today I come to the SH2 morality class, meaning to say I meet my own class. But I'm so excited because this is not only me, the one that as your judge, it will be have another one judges also. I just would like to say that good luck everyone for your performance today. Chayo. Only that from me, Miss Amanda. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Lisa. So now let me invite our second judges. It is Sir Mashuri.
Hi
Hello,
everyone. Hi.
Shamesh.
Hi Miss Amanda. Can you hear my voice? Am I
Yes,
audible to
all
you?
clear, sir.
That is great. Now, it's my privilege to be in this room, especially to witness the students that have been preparing and putting effort for today's real stage. Just as I mentioned in other classes, in other opportunities, in other rooms, I've always mentioned that real stage is a platform for you to showcase a skill and work this as a portfolio for you in the future, because public speaking skills is the most sought after skills going forward. So in the future, when you're working in any field, in any industry, you would need this skill. And people that have the competencies to speak in public is being highly valued. Therefore, if you can use this platform, this real stage, because this real stage is going to be up in the public and people can access it, and you can use this as a platform for your scholarship application, for your job application, for anything that you do in the future. So make sure you perform your best. I would like to wish everyone all the best, and I'm very excited to see the performance from each and every one of you. That's it from me. Looking forward to the performance today. Back to our master of ceremony.
All right, thank you, Miss Lisa and Samesh. So at this moment, we also have to say thanks to all the teachers who have supported all of us from the very beginning. We know that some of us feel difficult to do speech in the beginning, but our teachers supported us all the way. And we also need to thank our parents that support us in our life project, providing us with the best education and environment. So through this moment, we could thank all the people that always supported us, like our parents, teachers, sisters and brothers, friends, families, and many more. So ladies and gentlemen, I know all of us cannot wait to watch the performance of our amazing trainees today. So let's just kickstart the real stage after these 60 seconds ahead. 60 seconds is up, so let me welcome you our first speaker today who will deliver a speech about the influence of game. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our first speaker today, Adrian.
Hello. Good afternoon, judges and viewers. Today I'd like to talk about the influence of games. First of all, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Adrian Hausukardi, and I am 16, which means I'm in the 11th grade. My hobbies are just like everyone else in this quarantine because they cannot go out, playing games, and watching anime and reading mangas because most of us are not allowed to go out. But mainly, I would like to focus about games. First of all, what are games? Games are something or activity that can be enjoyed by a person or more. Games can be as simple as something that doesn't involve technologies or something, which is our hands. We can play games that involve hand, for example, rock, paper, scissors, a very simple game. Mainly used for deciding something. Like, for example, if you wanted to eat the last slice of pizza, and your friend wanted too, so you just use rock, paper, scissors and decide who wins. Another simple game that is easy to play and easy to be played is coin flip. You just need a coin and flip it. If the coin lands on head and you choose head, you win. Games can also be as advanced as computer games or mobile games. Basically, anything related to technology. We can see games evolve from using the Game Boy Color, a very old console, up to now the PS5, a very high-end device. So mainly for me, games is for having fun, and it can also be played competitively. So the main focus is the influence of the games, which is my title, of course. Influence, there are two of them, good influence and bad influence. Let's start with the good influence. The good influence of games are, of course, to brighten our mood. Just say you're going home from school. Your day wasn't so good. So you boot up your games and you play some games. You get happy, you enjoy it, and it is good because you enjoy games. But sometimes they can worsen our mood because we lose, or we perform bad, which is quite a normal thing for me because I lose a lot in video games. Another good influence is in creativity. Let's just say there is a game genre called sandbox. It allows us to build and basically do anything else. It is quite the good game genre. A game example is that Minecraft. I'm sure most of you have heard of it before. It is a very good game and best-selling game, I think. No, it's second to Tetris. It basically allows us to build, hunt, and protect ourselves. There is also a mode called creative mode, which allows you to build and to show your creativity by building anything. You can build a castle, a theme park, or anything else which is in your mind. Now let's talk about the bad influence. First of all, I'm aware of the bad influence video games have on me. The first one is the most obvious one, which is addiction. I was in that phase years ago, which means that I play games every time from morning to night. There was one time my friend invited me to hang out together. Because I was too addicted to the game, I rejected it. And it is something I regretted until now because I couldn't have fun with them and I chose to play games instead. Another one is to worsen our eyesight. This is very obvious, of course. Because if you play games every day, like this quarantine, of course, you will definitely keep looking at your screen, which is something same with me because in this quarantine I keep looking at phones, play games, and looking at social medias, which is something that couldn't be avoided because I'm not allowed to go out that much. another addiction, a form of addiction, which is money spending addiction. It is basically the same to addiction, except you like the game so much that you decide to waste lots of money on it. And to be honest, I also spend some money on games. I spend once in a while, like not every time. And I think that wraps it up about my speech about influence of gaming. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Adrian. What an interesting perspective from the gamer himself. So now I would like to invite the Mashuri to give Adrian some feedback.
Hi, Adrian. How do you feel after the real stage?
Before the real stage, I feel nervous, very nervous. But after speaking, I feel relaxed.
Yep. What I can observe is that you are very, very calm in terms of the demeanor and also the way you conduct yourself in front of the screen. It is as if you are very comfortable, you are very confident, and there is a lot of preparation beforehand already. In terms of the performance, what I like the most is that you are very structured in terms of your argument, forming your arguments, and then stating out what you want to how you want to convince the audience that there is a good side and a bad side, or the bad influence of game. I think that you are not only leaning towards one side, but you give a very concrete and logical argument that, hey, this is the bad side and this is the good side, and you have to take it yourself. Well, I think I like the way you crafted this speech. In terms of the delivery, I do want to say that your voice is powerful. You have this tendency to draw people to you with your voice. That is a good capital to have as a public speaker. Keep exploring that. The part where I want to suggest you even further to elevate your public speaking skills in the future is to master the stage. The stage in this sense is the screen, right? So we have this square as our stage, and we need to conquer it with our hand gestures and body movement, as well as some movements that can accelerate or even make our message pronounced. So I want to suggest you to capitalize on your hand gestures and make sure that your hand gesture is synchronized and elevate the meaning of your speech, or make sure that your message is pop up through your hand gesture. So that is the only suggestion that I would like to give to you. I am looking forward for your future speeches. Hopefully we'll meet in the future, and I can't wait to see the progress that you've made. So congratulations, you have done well in this real stage. Make sure you build upon the strong points that you have, and let's reach another height in the future. Back to our master of ceremony.
All right, thank you so much for the evaluation. So now we will have 1 minute of silence for our judges to finalize their evaluation. All right, moving on to our next speaker. She is gonna deliver a speech about education. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our next speaker, Amanda.
Today I will talk about education. Education plays a very important roles in our life. Like I think for me it's really very important. Education not only help us in like the gaining knowledge in studying physics, chemistry, maths like that. It's also like help us improve our life, gain knowledge and help us better in our future. Education like teach us for about responsibility, respect like that. And of course this is very important. A well educated person will not be easily fooled by other people. Because nowadays social life is quite bad sometimes. So sometimes people can even get fooled by other people, by their own friends. And well-educated person can have a better future because they have their own thinking, like a better thinking. Then the educated person, of course, help us a lot, help a lot in the future, like in for our own country, having a lot of educated person is very helpful. They are smart, they are good thinking. A person that is not educated, it's I think mostly people don't respect. Because sometimes their attitude is quite bad and yeah, they do a lot of sometimes they do a lot of bad deeds, like they talk very harsh and toxic. And education, it can like gain a lot of knowledge for our life and it helps us when we wanna find job. If we have a good education, we are we easily to find a job. And for people who like rarely study or not educated, it's quite hard actually. That's why there's some like homeless or what in outside. Maybe they could try to study like yeah try to study. Education is important like for ourselves, and parents always of course always say like education is a critical role in our lives. It is, for me it's very important in our life. Like if we are not educated, I think it's quite hard for us to live. So by being educated, we can learn like how to respect people, having a responsibility, and we could be a better person in our future. And not only helps us in future, even it also helps us in of course in present. Example like having like have people that like very smart and very educated. The person is very good, having a very nice moral attitude, and they will easily find friends, a very kind. They could like be surrounded by a lot of good friends and a very good environment. Like they could easily to find jobs than other people. Maybe because they are smart and they're kind, helpful. That some people are not helpful. Maybe it's I think the friends are even more little. So education is in very essential for like our work life also. If we talk to our boss like very harsh, very toxic like that, I think we will directly get fired. So it's a well educated person is it's very important. I wish like we all could become a very educated person, not like some people. And it of course it will help us a lot in future and finding friends, because yeah, nowadays social life. And of course, our parents also wanted us to become a very educated person. I think all parents wanted it, but sometimes become a very well educated person is quite hard also for me. Like it's so hard to reach our parents' goal like that. Like they want us to become this, that, like, but we sometimes not even interested in that, and it's quite hard when we don't reach the goal. Our parents will feel disappointed, and they sometimes like keep angry or what like that. And of course, like education in school is also very important. Like maths, Mandarin is not like not important, but of course in the future, like for university, we also still need to use about the studies. And I think at Nanyang we have the human values. Human values is very important. Like it's also one of the progress of become a well-educated person. It teaches us a lot of values like loyalty, morality, and responsibility, something like that. And it could help us become a better person in our future life. And even now, we can even start changing our own personality. And so, education in schools, maybe some people think like maths. We study like calculus, algebra. Maybe when we work, we don't even need that. But for some people need, for some people don't need. But for me, like it's all very important. Even though like it's we won't use it in the future, but we still can like become our knowledge. That we could gain a lot of knowledge, and it's a good things. And then like education also like teach us a lot of language. Language is very important in our life also. Like if we cannot talk on this language, we cannot even communicate with others. And so the so education is very essential for our life, and for me, in my opinion, is the most important things in our life is being an educated person. Because without being an educated person, we cannot reach our goals, and without education, I feel like we are an incomplete person. And that's the end of my speech. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Amanda. I also agree that you'll never know when you'll need math in the future. Right. Okay. So now we will have Sir Mashuri to give feedback.
Hi, Amanda. First of all, I would like to say that listening to your speech, I feel that you are talking to a person, and it felt very personal, and I liked it because the vibe that you bring is not like a very formal and like reading. You are speaking to people, and that's what essential part of public speaking is. And I feel that you are very comfortable, very natural, very, how to say, how you are very flowing in coming out with your all arguments. One thing that probably would strikes me as the most interesting part of your speech is that you incorporated personal speeches, personal stories as well inside your speech. Now, in terms of the future performances, of course, you have qualified the basic parts or the fundamentals of public speaking already. Now it is all about bringing it to the next step, right? And if I could challenge you even further in the new level, because you have obviously passed the basic level, now you are going to the next level. What I want to suggest you is one. The first one is when you have a clear message of your speech, make sure before you prepare a speech, it is recommended for you to form one message that you want the audience to bring back home, and then use that message consistently throughout the speech. For example, in the beginning, if let's say your message is education elevates people's life, let's say that is your message. once you have one argument done, you come up with the message and add it at the end. For example, this is the reason why education is important, because education elevates lives. Okay, and then you go on to the next argument and then add the closing with the same message again, and that will instantly create memorable speeches to the audience mind and also the audience ear. So basically, if you could, if I could summarize, the suggestion that I can give to you is to use consistently your message and make sure you prepare the message in a sentence that is easily remembered. That could have elevated this speech to the next level. That is the suggestion that I can give to you. All the best for your next level. It's nice to know you, and I'm looking forward for your future progresses. Thank you, Amanda. All the best. Back to Amanda as well.
All right, thank you, Samesh. So now we will have 1 minute of silence for the judges to complete the evaluation. Okay, moving on to the next speaker. He is gonna deliver a speech about the days I will treasure. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Brian Antonio.
Okay, thank you, Miss Amanda. So now, as you all know, our days of high school is coming to an end. Now we still have a year and a half, but it is really coming to an end sooner or later. And I asked my friends, how they feel about it. Some of them, they feel it's really sad that it's finally coming to an end. I think it's normal where school, it always felt like it was never going to end, but no, now we're in our last 2 years, so I think it's normal to feel that way. Some of them, they're very excited about it. They're very excited to go to college, to meet new people, to learn new things, and to go to new places. For me personally, I feel that way. I have a mixed feeling about it. Where I feel very excited to go out of school, to meet new people. At the same time, I'm very scared to leave all of this behind, as my school years has been very good. Throughout my 12 or 13 years of school in Nanyang, I think I've made a lot of very good. I made a lot of very good people. I made a lot of very good memories, and experienced a lot of very good things, and I've grown a lot as well. So, which is why I chose this topic, just as a reminiscent, to talk about it, to share what's on my mind. And I think this is the perfect opportunity, the real stage, to share all of this. So now, starting with my time in Nanyang, it started back in kindergarten, where I joined the school. It was around 12 years ago, I think. So yeah, I remember people like Yofin, Reinhardt, and I guess some others. They're also from kindergarten as me, so same like me. And yeah, kindergarten, I didn't remember much of it, but I remember I had a great time in kindergarten. So moving on is primary school, where I think I met most of the people. Most of the people I know now I met in primary school. Primary school was very fun as well, but I get into troubles a lot. I remember at least 4 times a month, I will go into the teacher's office after committing something I shouldn't have done, or just something that is very immature. But primary school was very long. It was 6 years, and I enjoy every year of it. I promise. So now moving on to JH. JH was very fun. I think it was the years where I grow to be the person I am now. It was from JH. And I remember JH1 was good. JH2 was even better, and JH3 was probably the best year in my school life, mainly because of how fun it was. It was a very fun year to me. Of course, now we're in SH. SH, nothing much happened. As you all know, we're online right now. Hopefully, we can go offline soon. Now we have had our offline exams, and the restrictions are getting lighter and lighter. Hopefully, so yeah. Last year did not much happen, but this year it was very fun, especially with the introduction of the public speaking class, as well as me and my friends. We have been in contact a lot more recently compared to last year. So after talking about all this school year, it really got me to think how with how colorful all these years has been. Like this white uniform I'm wearing right now, it has brought me a lot of colorful memories that I will definitely treasure in my life. I will definitely remember this until I'm very old, until the days where I will feel like going back to school again. It really another thing is how much I've grown, not just physically, but also mentally, I think. To the point where I feel like if I meet my younger self, I feel like he will be very proud of the person I've become, the person I've grown, and the person I'm going to be in the next few years again. And also just how excited I am to be to finish school. Like I know I did say I'm sad that school is going to end, but at the same time I'm very excited about it. The thought of going to a new country, going to meet new people, learn new things, and being able to live independent, I think it feels really good. I'm very excited about it. Of course, like I said, I'll be sad when I leave school. I'll probably cry, but at the same time, I'm very excited about it. I think that's the best thing about being young, where you have a lot of things you want to reach. You have dreams, you have that spirit, you have your passion. Which is why I think being young is a blessing to everyone. So, in conclusion, I would say, do not waste your time. Learn to appreciate it. Where every day, make sure you're smiling every day. Make sure you're having a good time every day. Of course, you need to work hard as well, but at least learn how to have fun in your childhood, because we only have this childhood once, and I think I made a great use of the time of my childhood. I think I did a great job. Of course, I have regrets, but at the same time, those regrets are the thing that made me grow, made me be the man I am today. And also, that being young, to me, being young is a blessing. I want everyone to remember that, because of how being young, we have a lot of things to expect. We have a lot of things we want to reach. We have dreams, and we're also full of spirit. I hope I carry this spirit, until I hit my 30s, my 40s, or even my 50s, or even the years way past that. So to end my speech, I think I'm going to end my speech with a quote I found online. It's in life we have two great teachers. One is time, and one is life itself. While life teaches us to make good use of time, time teaches us to appreciate life. That's the end of my speech. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Brian. Good job for your speech today. So let me invite Miss Lisa to give Brian some feedback.
Hola, Brian. What is the things that I listened to your speech? It's bring back to my childhood memory. It's bring back when I was a senior high school, like your age. It's really bring back all my friends and everything. So, I'm speechless. I listen this. I try to think and ask myself, did I treasure all my moment when I was childhood? when I was in the senior high school, junior high school, and all my friends. And it's come back some memory. My friends passed away, and then it's just come back so many memories. Thank you so much that remind me in this afternoon, Brian. Brian, I do agree with what you say, and I always love the way how you try to grab the audience attentions by making a very hint title, The Days I Will Treasure. Listening from your speech, I can notice that you have tried to do your best to always be grateful with your time, and then since your childhood until right now, you go to the senior high school. The things in here I would like to say is, I think 3 parts that I love from your speech. Portion number 1 is about the title and the topic itself. Then the story inside there is very complete. This is the first thing. The second is you really deliver it is just like a friend sharing the moment in a cafe. So just now, what is the feeling that I listen to your speech is not like a burden in your mind, but you would like to share. Hello, friends. Let's treasure our moments. That feeling is really, I can feel it. Last but not least, you try to relate all of the audience in here by give us a very nice conclusions. I really love the conclusion just now when you mentioned, everyone don't waste your times. And then in our life, we have the 2 great features, time and also life. And also you even that ask yourself and remind yourself that carry this spirit is not only in your young age, these teenagers, but go to 30s, 40s, and 50s. Perfecto. But even the best can be better, right? Brian, you also mentioned just now about you grow so much. You study in Nanyang since you were kids, kindergarten. You met Reinhard and some of your friends right now still kindergarten until senior high school. You can feel that yourself is really grown not only physically and also mentally. I would like to ask you, if today I ask the questions, if you got chance to say thanks, how the impactful that the school give you the impact in your life?
I think with the people I met has really shaped who I am, and the school system itself, where I think the school system is, I think, completely unique compared to other schools. So, the school, like it, I think it made me to think for myself, like to be more mature. I think in that way.
Yeah. Okay. If you got a chance today, because we have the real stage for the speaking warrior trainings, and then you also got a chance to say the public speaking school, give you a chance to having this public speaking, you got a chance to say thanks to the school itself. What is the thing that you are going to say? Because just now you mentioned about a school that changed you a lot of physically and mentally.
Yeah. I think the teachers that really guide me to, like really give me a chance. I mean, I've been in a lot of troubles, and they really, like every time I get a trouble, they really want me to improve again instead of just expelling me. Like they want me to be a better person rather than give me punishment. They really want me to improve. I think that's the thing I appreciate the most about the school.
Okay. Thank you so much, Brian Antonio, for sharing this. That's from my evaluation for your next speech. It's only you try to structurize more, starting from the opening body and conclusion, because just now you mentioned for the conclusion 2 times. I would like to conclude, don't waste your time, and then you continue again a bit, and then after that, in conclusions again. Maybe it's because your spirit and the way you're sharing, but it's overall is okay. So, Brian Antonio, thank you for sharing. And the days I will treasure today is listening to your speech. Thank you very much. Back to you, Amanda.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lisa, for the feedback. So now we will have 1 minute of silence for the judges to finalize their evaluation. All right, our next speaker will talk about the significance of experience. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Jioli.
Okay, so now we are wrapping up the year of 2021, and I think that it is a good time for us to reflect on our past year and just think to ourselves, have I improved anything compared to last year? Have I gained anything compared to last year? And of course, you can argue that since it's the time of quarantine and all that, we are stuck inside our homes, not being able to improve. And it's also pretty hard to gain new experience as well. But then the truth is, even with those limitations, there are still so many opportunities for us to improve and to experience new things. But first, you may ask, why am I talking about this? Why am I saying experience this, experience that? But yeah, that's the topic that I'm going to talk about today. So, experience is one of the most important aspects of our lives. Whatever decisions that we make in the future, they're all influenced by our previous experiences. We are also able to gain so much knowledge from experience and the ability to retain it even better than anything else. But then the problem is, many people often refuses the chance to get new experiences, and they also, more often than not, even refuses to seek them out. I'm also pretty guilty of this. I myself don't really seek out experiences that much. But then the truth is, we really should not do that. We really shouldn't run away from those experiences. Now, I'm going to tell a personal story of mine, and it is one that makes me realize how experience is very essential for our lives. So, half a year ago, I got an announcement by my school, and they said that there's going to be 2 extra CCA lessons. Personally, I don't really like extra lessons since the ones that I had currently previously was quite a lot already. But then, yeah, it's fine then, I guess. So I looked at the announcement and I saw that those CCA lessons were coding and public speaking. So seeing coding, I thought that it sounded pretty fun because I've always had an interest in coding and I've been wanting to learn the basics of it ever since I got introduced into coding. So at that time, I felt that that was the choice that I want to make. But then I saw the other one, public speaking, and I was like, no, 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 no. I, I did not like talking in front of an audience, which is why I was never a fan of public speaking. And so at the time, I thought that I only had to choose one CCA for the rest of my term. But then the school said that I'm forced to join both. So at that time, I complained and I complained. I get very frustrated on the school because I really did not want to join public speaking. But then, well, I'm here right now. It was inevitable. I had no choice. So the first session of public speaking arrived, and then when I got in, I just thought to myself, this is going to be a nightmare, isn't it? This is going to be probably the worst part of my high school, and I wasn't looking forward to it. But then, after the teacher explained everything during that session, I still feel like I did not want to do it. But then I had a little bit of interest to at least gain something from it. And so the next session came along, and I became one of the speakers for that session. And after finishing it, as I had expected, I did not enjoy it. I was very nervous and I was very stressful throughout the whole speech. I could not imagine doing those ever again. I even considered skipping the class. But then, as the teacher in my lesson said, whatever we do, the show must go on. So we continued to the next several sessions. And after a few more speeches that I delivered and a few more teachings by the teacher, even though I did not like it, I felt that I had improved a little bit. I saw some noticeable improvements in myself, both in terms of delivering the speech and also in terms of my confidence. I felt like before coming into the public speaking session, I was not as confident as right now. And I think that that's a good thing because confidence is not only important for public speaking, but it's also important in our everyday lives. And these are all things that I would have never improved if not for public speaking and the experiences that came with it. And so when I take a step back and reflect on the past year of uh, turns and all that, I feel like even though I did not like it, it is still something that's going to be beneficial for me in the future. So the takeaway from this is that whatever new challenges that we face in the future, be it an intentional one, a surprise one, or even a forced one, do not be afraid to tackle them. Do not back out of all those challenges, and instead, we need to embrace them. We need to accept them because when we overcome those challenges eventually, we are able to live with even more knowledge than ever, and most importantly, even more experience than ever. And that is something that we should keep on pursuing now and in the future. And so, because of that, to quote because of that, I think that experience is something that is very important for all of us. And to quote a certain lesson, these are all steps towards making you better you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Julie. What a so SML1 closing, making you better you. So now let me invite Samashuri to give Julie some feedback.
Jolie, this is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful speech, and I really enjoy listening to your speech. How do you feel after delivering that speech?
Yeah, I'm still nervous as before.
Yes, and I can see huge talent in you. And yes, public speaking is one of the most scariest course. And I think that in the beginning, if you heard of public speaking, that is one of the most afraid of nightmare. And I can see that going through the progress, it seems like it pays a huge dividend to you because now we can discover that Jolie has a talent to speak, has a talent to impress people on stage, has a very, very good influencing skills on public speaking. So you have this skill of communicating with people because what I feel is when you were speaking, I was drawn to you from the beginning until the end, and that is not an easy feat. It is very difficult for a person to sustain attention from the audience. And I felt that you, as a speaker today, did that so well. So this is not only just because of the hard work that you've put in, it is also because that the talent that you have that you did not discover before or you were afraid of exploring before. And I want to say congratulations. I want to say congratulations for discovering this new talent, or let's say a talent that has been there for a long time, but now it shines through. One thing that I really impressed with is how comfortable you are on screen, how your smile basically radiates to a lot of audiences. And I'm sure for people who are watching right now, they are also find it very pleasant to see you on screen because that is something that many speakers might be able to speak well, but you have extra advantage that when you smile, you increase your charisma. So make sure in the next performances, don't forget to smile more because the smile is one of the attraction that you have as well as a speaker, and keep exploring your public speaking skills because I can see that you have a huge talent in here. And if I can suggest one thing to improve, because this is online speaking, right? You are already setting up all the technicalities. One extra thing that maybe can improve it is through your body language, especially your hand gestures. So you had a lot of points in your speech, and you can use anchoring techniques. For example, screen. If let's say you are putting it one here and then the second point you put it here, and then the third point you put it here. You can also create anchoring on screen, which means you help the audience to remember more through your hand gesture. Okay, explore that, because in terms of crafting the speech, you are great. In terms of your vocal, I liked it the most. Your facial expression, you smile when you deliver speech. It's just with this extra hand gestures, you can elevate your speech to the next level. Well, I hope that this feedback can help make you better you. All right, thank you so much, Julie. It's been a pleasure for me to listen to your speech, and I can't wait to see your future progresses. Back to our Master of Ceremony.
All right, thank you so much, Shuri. So, congratulations, Julie, on your real stage today. Now we will have 1 minute of silence so that the judges could finish their evaluation. All right, an interesting topic coming from our next speaker. She is going to deliver something about self-love is a must. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Gracelyn.
Hello everyone. Actually, I'm going to ask, what is the best love in this world? For me, it's actually self-love. Having confidence and self-love has so many benefits. Don't you know that? The more self-confident you are, the happier you are with yourself. Self-love is a condition when we can respect ourselves by appreciating ourselves, when we are able to make decisions in spiritual, physical, and psychological development. An example is when you have managed to accept your weaknesses and strengths and focus on the life goals you have. Self-love is not being selfish. Remember that it is just putting yourself first and not being too tough on yourself. Sometimes you might hear the voice in your head telling you that you are not good enough or that you cannot afford to make mistakes. Just ignore it. I know it's hard, but it's better to ignore them and focus on yourself. I always keep in my mind about this quote: whatever you do, there will be people who will criticize you. Just do what you believe is right and don't be distracted by criticism. That quote actually hit me. So, self-love is a must for me and also for all of us. Remember that you are precious in this life. People who love themselves are less likely to suffer from anxiety and depression. Self-love also paves the way to a positive mindset, which is an essential ingredient for success in life and for mental well-being. Not only that, self-love and alone time are also essential to having a healthy relationship. You have to love and appreciate yourself before you can love someone else. When it is clear that you treat yourself well and have love, respect, and appreciation for yourself, it sets the tone for how your partner should treat you. But loving yourself isn't that easy. Loving yourself truly comes with facing what you may hate most about yourself. Here are a few ways to develop self-love. First, the most important thing is stop being insecure. What causes insecurities? Insecurities are related to standards set by the people we interact with, such as our family, friends, and societal expectations that may be legitimate or perceived. How to stop it? We must reflect on the good, be more grateful, and challenge your thoughts. So that's why I stopped comparing myself to others. I used to like comparing myself to others and it hurts. And one day I realized that it is not good, so I'm here to compare myself to my old me. So when this is too hard and I want to give up, I will look back and see how far I've been going through. That's how I actually motivate myself, so I won't keep comparing myself to others and won't easily to give up. Second, allow yourself to make mistakes. It is okay if you make mistakes as long as you learn from them, because mistakes have the power to turn you into something better than you were before. For example, someone asked me, how do you accept yourself when you made a mistake? Of course, allow yourself to feel bad first, but not too long, remember. And then find a solution and fix your mistake, and I'm sure that you will find a message and learn from that problem. Third, don't be worried about others' opinion. Be who you are, not the world wants you to be. You are the only one who knows yourself the best. Nobody else is living yourself. They might have opinions or ideas, but the only person who knows what is the best for you is you. Remember, most people aren't paying much attention. People spend more time thinking about themselves than thinking about others. If they're expressing an opinion about your life, it's probably not something they've given much thought to, but just a passing thought. Last but not least, don't be afraid to let go of toxic people. Toxic people usually have 6 types. The energy drainer, the person who can't be happy for others' good fortune and they can put you down for no reason. The criticizer, the person who criticizes every move you make and doesn't support you in your decision. The manipulator, the person who pretends to like you and who try to control everything. The victim, the person who blames others for their misfortune and talk mostly about their excuses for falling. The pessimist, the person who talk down to you to make themselves feel better and only care about themselves. So the pessimists usually only care about themselves. And lastly, the fake complimenter. This person usually lacks of empathy and give you fake compliments. Trust me, let go of toxic people will make your life much better because I experienced this once. So be aware of toxic people around you because they can be anywhere. That was everything I said about self-love, and hopefully all of you know why it is so important to have self-love in yourself. I hope all of you can learn a lot from my speech today because I try to put a motivational quote and also message that maybe can help you. That's all. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Gracelyn. What a wonderful speech about self-love. So now let me invite Miss Lisa to give Gracelyn some feedback.
Hola, hola, Gracelyn. Self-love is a must. And then today, listening to your speech, Gracelyn, thank you. Like usual, you always bringing the topics. The topic like is about ourselves. Then this is the way that how usually you bring the issue in the class, the topic as well. It's a very nice. You make it a very complete. Do you know what is the thing that I like today from yours is Gracelyn? Usually when in the class, then I know that you got a very not a good lighting, but today you try to do your best in the real stage. Thank you for your well cooperation. And then also you try to use your head gesture. I can try just now, you are really relaxed are using this. I try to zoom in just now, pay attention to your eye contact. Oh my God, Gracelyn. It's really, you are really speaking to the persons like in front of you. You not try to memorizing everything. You try to use your eye contact because in SML1, we love to say, eye contact locks the heart. And you locks my heart to listen the speech. Okay, well, anyway, in the self-love mindset, you tell us just now 1, 2, 3, 4. At the last, you mentioned like this. Trust me. Don't be afraid. Go from the toxic people. I experience it. Am I right? You mentioned this just now at the end. After that, you conclude it. So everyone, I hope from my speech, I have put my motivational quotes already. I do hope this can help you. Who knows you need it. On that moment, I just feel like I'm eating. Okay, I'm eating the rujak, and then suddenly the person is just only give me the rujak, but the taste it's just like we call in bahasa nanggung. I wait for the experience that you can share more. Because like in public speaking, we mentioned also like stories connect people. Still remember that teacher ever told like this about Gracelyn? You can let the persons connect to yours and bring the motivation and inspiration speech from yours if they feel connected. Yeah. I ever been like that too. Okay, it's very hard for me to go out from the toxic people. And today listening from one of the speaker, then she also can survive then go out from the toxic people by doing these several tips. So I try to use this, and then who knows, it's work for me. Am I right, Gracelyn? So what teacher Lisa can give you an input is only can insert a story. Because just now you give us, you tell us not a story, but your own experience. You just mentioned that you experience it, but it's no explanations. But overall, Gracelyn, it's great. I totally do agree with what you say. Self-love is a must. How you can love others if you don't love yourself? Then what is the things you need to keep it up? The things you have, it's elaborate your speech. Okay, elaborate your speech with your own experience, and your speech will be more perfecto. Okay, last but not least, what I can say is it's remember to always be grateful with what you have right now. Especially learn how to love yourself. Thank you so much, Gracelyn. See you when I see you again, not next sessions, right? See you when I see you again, Gracelyn. Bye. Back to you, Miss Amanda.
All right, thank you, Miss Lisa, for the feedback. Congratulations, Gracelyn, for your real stage today. So now we will have 1 minute of silence for the judges to Alright, going to our next speaker. He is gonna deliver a speech about friends. So ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Juan.
Hello. So my speech, it will be more specific. How to find a true friend. What makes someone a real friend, a true friend? So what do you find from someone? What do you need from someone who is a true friend? Do they need to make you feel good? Do they make you a better person? Are they honest and trustworthy? These are things you basically find in a true friend. Now, who can be your true friend? A true friend is a friend that backs you up, loyal, and consistently proves themselves to be genuinely there for you, like ready to support you in anything that happens in your life, except the ones that you need to fight yourself. So what the difference between true friends and fake friends are? Fake friends are only gonna contact you if they need something, or if they need something from you, or wanna know something juicy. Real friends, they will contact you whenever and wherever because they are concerned with what's going on in your life. They need to know that you're fine, and they don't need to know about the juicy stuff that happens in your life. Now, what is true friendship based on? They are based on mutual respect, admiration, and gratitude to the other person. This type of friendship is one that will grow over time. Now, fake friends, they are usually more like well behaved. They are sweeter, and that's only when they need you. But when they don't need you, they'll just push you down and try to avoid you. If you find someone who is inconsistent with the way they treat you, that probably means they are a fake friend. So next up is a true friend. So a loyal friend will always stand by you when times are tough. You know, like when you get a bad score, money is tight, you are ill, and other things that happens in life, like that. Because they will always be there by your side. You will never feel like you are alone. They will also be there for you when you get into some trouble. Now I've gotten into a fair bit of trouble myself. Yeah, a fair bit. And I have friends that will back me up when they see that I am not wrong, but will also scold me if I did something wrong. That is a true friend. I have met lots of true friends. Luckily for me, I did not meet many true best friends. They will always keep your secrets. They will always be completely honest. They don't know. They don't need you to talk to each other to know that you are there for them and they are there for you. Silence is never awkward. If you go for long periods of time without talking or seeing them, but can rekindle the friendship when you very quickly when you've been apart, that is a true best friend. Now, what are some unique qualities for friends? They possess unconditional love, like a mother's love. They never hold back anything, and they never raise any questions. Real friends, they just value friendship. True friends, they are there for other people. But they are possible if you know how to be one yourself and you know what to expect from others. You want to call friends. Shared interests aren't even the most important element in the friendship. Even acquaintances can enjoy common interests. Now, when should you let a friend go? You may begin to feel resentful or frustrated with them. The best thing to do is to express how you feel and see if anything changes. If they aren't willing to recognize your feelings or to make an effort to create a healthier balance, it may be time to let go of that friendship. Now, why is a good friendship important? It brings more happiness into our life than vitally anything else. Friendship has a big impact on your mental health and happiness. Good friends, they relieve stress, provide comfort and joy, and prevent isolation. Developing close friendships can also have a powerful impact on your physical health. That's all.
All right, thank you, Juan, for the amazing explanation about friends. So now let me invite Sir Mashuri to give Juan some feedback.
Hi, Juan. How do you feel after delivering the speech?
Yes, a weight has been lifted off my shoulder.
So it was a heavy burden because right after you close your speech, I could see the smile is from ear to ear just now. Well, in terms of the speech, I find it very entertaining. It is very lightweight yet packed full of punches as well. What I really love throughout the speech, when you deliver this speech, it is, we could feel the sincerity that you put into this speech, and you are explaining it very detailed, in a very detailed manner, about friendships, what kind of friends are worth holding on, and what kind of friends are toxic. And I think that that is something that is genuine, coming from your own experiences. Well, if I may suggest you on how to improve this kind of delivery, one thing is about the mannerism that I observe throughout the speech. I'm not sure whether you noticed, the mannerism is for you to move the chest like this. Okay, so this is one of a signal of, we if, let's say, we consider mannerism as nervousness, it was one of the signs that you were nervous throughout the speech. Yet you conquered it in terms of the voice, in terms of the expression. It's just that this mannerism slips away from your control, which means, if, let's say, if you can be aware of your chair positions and not less moving, probably people would not be able to observe whether you were nervous or not. So that is the part where I want to suggest you for the first time. The second part is, in terms of the title, you are talking about friends. Friendship is something that we all are having. We all have. Friends are something that we need to have in our life, right? What I want to suggest further in terms of the title, can, if, let's say, this speech, you have one message that you want to convey to the audience after they listen to your speech, I think that message should be the title, because that could be the catching point, or the part where it catches audience's attention. And once you nail on the message, then you can repeat it after every big points. Okay, so because I feel that although this speech is very comfortable, very genuine and sincere, in my opinion, it could be elevated with the message. If you were clear and structure your message clearly, this would have been a perfect speech. That is the two suggestion that I would like to give to you. Hopefully this could help you progress further in the future. Congratulations, now you are on the second level now, and yes, I'm excited to see your progress coming forward. All the best. That's it from me. Back to our master of ceremony.
All right. Thank you so much for the feedback. So, congratulations again, Juan, for your real stage today. Now we will have 1 minute of silence for our judges to finalize their evaluation. All right, another interesting topic coming from our next speaker. She's gonna talk about willpower is for losers. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Michelle.
Imagine if we were addicted to playing on the PS4, but you need to finish an assignment that would be due next day. What would be the best way to able to focus on the assignment without distraction from the PS4? Lying around in my room. The best answer would probably be put away the PS in a place where I can't get it until I finish the assignment. As an example, we could lend the PS4 to a friend who's been longing to play with it. or simply just lock it in your closet and ask someone to keep the key until you have finished your assignment. Despite the fact that there could be different methods to remain focused, there are another alternative ways to deal with this kind of problem. In today's speech, we will center the topic around resisting temptation and how hard is it to resist this gadget. This brings us to our final question, which is, what is the difference between successfully resisting temptation and not just having a temptation? Researchers conduct an experiment called the marshmallow experiment, where would people bring a child to a private room and put a marshmallow in front of them. The researcher made them a deal that if the child did not eat the marshmallow until the researcher returned, the child would reward with a second marshmallow. However, the child decided to eat the first one before the researcher returned. They wouldn't get a second marshmallow, unlike the first one. And no surprise, only one of the third of the kids were able to resist the marshmallow long enough for the person to return to be able to receive their second marshmallow. For an adult, it'll be easy to resist a marshmallow, even though you still put the effort to resist this thing. To illustrate, some way use far effortless, yet alone no effort resisting watching the other episode of good series when it time go to bed. So there is a consequence of resisting temptation even if you succeed. A famous experiment by Roy Burmester and colleague has 67 participants who can't eat for at least 3 hours go to a room filled with the aroma of fresh baked cookies. They sit down two table with a two bowl, one filled with warm chocolate chips cookies and another filled with radish. Half of the people were told that they had to eat radish, but they couldn't eat the cookies, vice versa, but with a twist. And that the people stuck with radish and the lucky people who got cookies were asked to work on a mental stressful puzzle. The puzzle was actually in fact impossible, but the point was to see how long people would try do it. The people with radishes gave up on the puzzle almost twice as fast. On average, they quit 10 minutes faster than people with cookies. And the idea of the people will radish were tired using their willpower on resisting cookies. As a result, they have less power to use on the puzzle. This shows the concept of ego depletion. Willpower is like muscle, and the idea that willpower draw limited stored energy. In the conclusion of this whole idea, that is, if you use a great deal of your willpower on one thing, then you would end up having less willpower to use later to resist the temptation. Staying focused, even making good decisions, will help make a person resist more desire, than they are more likely to give influence into the future desire. People who were best at control say that people were the type of people who are good at resisting temptation, and they are actually report experiencing fewer temptation through the studies. This shows that diligent people with high self-control apparently were using less self-control. A study called What's So Great About Self-Control by researcher Marina Milyaskanya and Michael Inzik were positioned to gather the data from 159 university students. Through this investigation, this was found that those experience more self-control will not succeed in achieving in their goals. The people who planned their life there didn't have to use self-control were more successful. The differences between the successful student and the unsuccessful student is that the unsuccessful student is trying to resist the temptation, while the successful people just made disappear or important to access. Since made their temptation activity option, activities are distracted from the main task, thus lower their focus and worsen their productivity, even though they weren't doing it. The work done by Glenn Wilson of Graham College has found that when you are trying to focus on the task, even with the simplest temptation of an unread email sitting on your inbox, it can do so much to reduce the effectiveness IQ by 10 points. In short, use less willpower and not more. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Michelle. So now I would like to invite Miss Lisa to give Michelle some feedback.
Hola, Michelle. Willpower is for losers. Okay, are you okay today, Michelle? You feel nervous?
No, actually my hand is already shivering.
Okay, okay, but now relief already?
I'm not sure.
Not sure yet. Okay, then finally today I'm so happy I can see at least you can deliver the speech based on the last evaluation that I told you to pay attention to the camera positions and also that we can see for your whole face like this way. Then you did a very good job. The things that I really love from you, Michelle, is every time you accept any feedback, you try to adjust it and evaluate yourself, and then you go on and go on. This is one of the good things that I love from see your improvement. Okay, Michelle, the speech just now is a very nice topic. We talk about the willpower is for the loser. I'm keep waiting, which the definition of the losers in here you are going to talk about until end of the speech. But I try to relate with the Marcelo research. Do you ever try to do that, Marcelo, to any one of your friends or the kids maybe around you?
No, but I've tried it myself and it was an interesting research.
Oh, you try to make it by your own.
Yes.
Oh, how long you can wait for that?
To be honest, I wouldn't last until 20 minutes. If I am
Okay.
being if I have using willpower, if without using willpower, I wouldn't even until 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. So you are in the room, and then the things also marshmallow, or any others food or any things that you wait for that. Because if in the research, as I know, there is the marshmallows that they put in the rooms and ask the kids to wait. If they can finish to wait, they can got a chance for the get a second one, right? Okay. What you do last time? What you did last time?
Probably I put in the books that I really want to read it while I'm focusing on the assignments I was being given. So actually, I try to make it a replica, but not really the same thing. But surprisingly, it's very true.
Okay, so it's less than 20 minutes. Also give up already last time.
True.
Okay, well, so Michelle, you see, just now I tried to talk to you and I tried to dig more information about your own experience. If just now you can insert a bit, talk about the willpower is for the losers, and then how the way you can change your mind, because you mentioned about the marshmallow research theory. I don't think so that everyone's know about this. Am I right? You know, because teacher Lisa know. Then I did this one for several times for the students, but not everyone's, not all audiences, right? So you only talk about this, it's only in your mind, no? You might think others person also know. So what teacher Lisa can give you input, somehow when we ask the speakers, we have to make sure that make it a very clear sentences, and then you can maybe can give it the example of yours. Okay, when you mention about the marshmallow research on that moment, I need to like that, yeah. Because the marshmallow names comes out because the game, the research is using the marshmallow candy. Then because you do it for the book, that's why I asked you. So become a book research. You got the points, right? The book study. And last but not least, that I can give you an input next time. Just so you mentioned about a Marina, a Michael, 159 University, and then that several names, right? Several names. Then I don't think so. It's very easy for us as a speakers to memorize all of this. I don't know if there's any notes in front of you or how. But if teacher Lisa can give you an input, you can just take, for example, that the studies by Harvard University, Marina and Michael, talk about. Maybe you can just take names, no need very, very, very complete. If you want to talk a very, very complete, then you have to make sure that you can speak it very fluently. So you looks like you know the research very well. Because just now you hint it, stop it a while. Like you mentioned about Michael, blah, blah, blah. So it's slowly a bit suddenly for the pace. But overall, Michelle, thank you for sharing this speech. And then thank you for remind us of the different successful person versus the the different successful people with the unsuccessful people. So I do hope you knows that as the successful people, what you have to do. Okay, you at least you apply the things that you have learned, especially in Nanyang. Is keep remind it's not only good in skill and being smart, but we need to have a good character and good manner. Thank you very much. See you when I see you again. Bye, Michelle. Back to you, Miss Amanda.
All right. Thank you, Miss Lisa, for the feedback, and congratulations, Michelle. You have done really well in the real stage. So now we will have 1 minute of silence for our judges to finalize their evaluation. All right, our next speaker will talk about insecurity. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our next speaker, Reinhard.
Sorry, but it's actually Reinhard.
Okay, Reinhard, please, stage is yours.
All right. Greetings. If you're worried out by the title, then perhaps let me explain. The feeling of insecurity is when you're feeling all sorts of uncomfortableness circulating all around your head, making you feel like your existence is currently under threat. It's something that gives you spine chills, like when you're told that you're being watched right now from who knows where, or someone can spy on your private life. Well, that's the feeling of insecurity. Today we live in an era on where security is miles ahead from say 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, and it's improving in an exponential rate. But notwithstanding that, the internet is still a very dangerous place, and there's no denying that. After all, it's a free zone where people from all around the world of different races, social standings, all coexist. Take whatever social media you fancy, and you can see that for yourself. This openness when it comes to accessibility coupled with the anonymity of the users make it a breeding hub for scumbags like trolls and doxers. They are, if you're wondering, people who conduct their act of mischief online, spreading hate, leaking private information, inciting controversial stuff, and generally they just cause anger and chaos in the internet, and it's all sorts of nasties, you name it. But Well, ironically, however, to avoid those tracks, people will often opt for anonymity as well, like hiding their real identity and operating an online persona. It's a solid and straightforward principle, really. To hide, you don't show. And that online persona doesn't just serve as a facade to your real life or a way to avoid harassments, but it also serves as a purpose for of keeping privacy and masking presence. That is to say, people would go under aliases and profiles that have zero connection to the real life. And by profile, I mean profile picture. Uh, there are also people who value there are people who value the privacy and people who make the best to not let their identity be revealed to public, or because in the end, no one likes having the privacy breached, do they? And it's up to their right to try their best to hide their identity as they wish. Now it begs the question, where do I come in all of these? So you might ask. I am a user of the internet, and like many, I have an online persona. Since to me, the internet is an escape from this world. I, I would distance myself from the real world and I would hide my real identity as best as I could when I'm online. Um, Back when I was small, mom would always tell me not to speak to strangers, but today is a different time. I met a lot of strangers. I surf the web a lot and interact with people I don't know. Like all of them, all the people I meet on the web are people I don't know. They are quote unquote strangers. And mom is supposed to partly avoid me from disclosing private information to randoms, so I don't like drag them into my private problems or like just don't say anything unnecessary to people who has definitely no connection to me. But when you live in a world where meeting other people is very easy, there's no helping but to interact with them. So just to be safe, I adopted the idea of using an online persona, and that's how I started this online persona. And in a way, it boosts my confidence on talking to others, and it reveals my true identity. And to hide who I really am, I don't show myself, and it's brilliant. There aren't any sorts of bigotry nor other people to judge me for who I really am. But as long as I appeal to them, as long as I appeal to the masses, to the people, they will talk back to me, and we will have a rather normal conversation. They won't judge me for maybe you could think that maybe some people think that maybe I'm weird or like they are kind of racist and they don't want to talk to people from a certain background. But since I have this online persona to mask who I really am, there's no sort of racism and nothing. People just talk to you like normal. They think of you as a fellow internet users, something like that. And yeah, to be distant from the real world to me, it means not disclosing anything personal, anything I value, and therefore I am not an active user of social medias, or at least I don't post my daily activities online. At most, I would just lurk in chatbot. Lurk meaning that I would surf around it without participating in discussion. And when I don't, I would talk about inconsequential things, keeping up my facade all the time. Now, why do I keep up this facade? You might ask. It's when said inconsequential things turn into some sort of sensitive topic, I could use it as a shield if I were to say something controversial. Because there's no greater horror when something you said I used against you. Right, yeah. Definitely, with all that said, I highly value my privacy and I would hate to see it breached. I clearly would not enjoy having footage or photographs of me taken and posted online without my consent, especially not if it's done with the idea of making some other parties look good. I definitely do not like that. I hate it. And after all, this person of mine, this has become a sort of identity, really, a ghost of the internet, as my mates would call it. Specifying name, I should say, really. Yeah. To conclude, I would not regard this as paranoia, but it's more of a precaution, really. Uh, of course, don't get me wrong. Even though I say it's not a paranoia, I'm still scared of having my identity disclosed to the public. I still do not like it. The idea still gives me chills, and it's bugging me really. The idea of having my information being breached and sold out to the masses. I don't like to imagine that, and yeah, let's not imagine that. I guess it's making the mood kind of depressing. So in the end, I've got secret to hide. Yeah, everybody got secrets to hide. I've got secret to hide. You've got secret to hide. Everyone got secret to hide, and it's called secret for a reason. No one likes when the cat's out of the bag in it. No one likes it. Yeah. So a favor to people I know, especially my mates. Let's put aside who we are in real life when we're interacting online. There's no point on having our real life dragging us down when we're online. After all, like I've said before, I think of the internet as an escape from real life to me. And it's like another world to me. So I would love to talk as my persona when we're online. I would like to, for example, it's yeah. I would like to talk as who I think who I am really am when I'm online, but not my. It's kind of weird to put it, really. So to make it simple, I'm just gonna say that there's to me, the online me and real life me. I would like to forego all the real life me when I'm talking online. So yeah, it's just my online me, my other me, my alter ego, You could put it. It's like an alter ego. So, yeah. Also, to my mates, stop asking me to make social media account. I don't do that sort of thing. And please don't call me a conservative. Please don't call me a conservative old person. Yeah, bruv. Okay, thanks. Okay, I digress a bit, but stay anonymous. I guess it helps to be cautious. Prevention is always better than cure. I think the internet is a dangerous place, as I've put it already in the beginning of my speech. Take my words with a grain of salt, or maybe not at all. After all, who am I to say what you can or cannot do? But in the end, forewarned is forearmed.
All right, thank you. Reinhardt, is it true already?
Yeah, bruv, it's over.
Oh no, I mean spelling your name, Reinhardt, right?
Yeah, it's right. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for the speech. Let me invite Sir Mashuri to give Reinhardt feedback.
Hi, Reinhardt. Nice
Hello.
to know you. You strike me as a young person that has a very interesting point of view of the world, and you are a person with a strong principle in life. And I liked to listen to how your world really means to you, which means you are in your speech, you are sharing a lot about the internet security and how it is a very dangerous platform for security or privacy. Therefore, you would like to warn all of us about the danger of it. And yes, it is. When listening to your speech, I think there is one significant draw of attention for me is that you have a very strong accent. And somewhat that accent is what is really interesting for me. And yes, the accent that you are using when you are speaking is helping me to pay attention more to you. And one point that probably could be done even better with this accent is if the audience were not really comprehending the topic, your accent have a tendency of speaking faster, right? So if I may suggest you, if you would like to convey this important principle of your life, if it is possible to slower down the pace in the middle of the speech or when it is the important point that you want people to remember on, try to put a slower pace on it because you are that shows the significance of that point that you want to highlight, hey, remember this is a dangerous place. So slow it down a bit. That creates an impact of the delivery. Okay. In terms of the way you deliver or package the speech, one point that probably I would like to have to add as a challenge to you is the how to say, you were telling the danger of internet, and this platform or social media is something. Some of the platform of social media can be a place for bigotry and many other examples. Probably, if you could add personal stories in terms of how have you seen bigotry happens, what are the most dangerous, or the most devastating problems that people experience when they are on social media, that could have bigger impact upon the message that you want to carry on. So in conclusion, you are a very interesting young person with interesting view about the world. This is something that you are very passionate about securities and privacy, and you want to warn all of us about it. And I feel very pleasure to know you as a person, Reinhardt, and I can see bright future in the future for you. And keep on exploring and keep on having this principle of your life, and just take care of yourself really well. And I could see bright future upon you, Reinhardt. So that is all from me. I am excited to see your future.
Cheers.
That's it. Yes, cheers. Back to our MC.
All right, thank you so much for the evaluation. So now we will have 1 minute of silence so that the judges could finalize the evaluation. All right, going to our next speaker, she is gonna tell us something about finding happiness. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Shelna.
Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about happiness. What do you know about happiness? Is it being rich or being loved? I'm going to start by explaining happiness. Happiness is the mental state of experiencing positive and pleasant emotion. In my experience, many people define happiness as the feeling of intense joy, which make it harder to feel like we are happy in our everyday life. In fact, there are many levels to happiness, starting from the sense of contentment to the raging through exhilaration jubilation. Many of us set off on a quest to reach exhilarating happiness high on a regular basis, and this often ends in disappointment and anger. Instead of happiness, try focus on contentment. What is contentment? Contentment is a mental state of experiencing satisfaction in a present state. It is often felt when practicing mindfulness or feeling comfortable in mind, body, and surroundings. While we all experience emotion every day, it can be very helpful to find contentment on a regular basis. Next time, when you take a break, sit back after completing a piece of work, give yourself a minute or two, practicing feeling good in your body, mind, and with your daily accomplishment. Now, I will tell you how to find happiness within yourself, even in a little things. Now that I've introduced you to the concept of contentment, here are the 6 steps I tend to recommend anyone looking to feel more positive in their daily life, reframing how you feel about happiness. And where you get the happiness can be simply things that really makes a difference. Here are my 6-step process to feeling happier in life and your work. Point 1. Stop chasing happiness. Many people connect happiness to the achievement of their certain goals or aspiration. This practice makes happiness as a reward, rather an emotion that is deserved to be felt on a day-to-day basis. Instead of chasing goals as an extension, chasing happiness allows yourself to feel happiness wherever it comes your way. Point 2. Remove your barriers to happiness. Following from point 1, the downside to pining happiness on external goals is that you may fall into unhelpful thinking habit by placing your happiness onto something external. You may forget that feeling happy is something come from inside and can be found looking inwards, rather than waiting for external action to trigger it. Try reframing how you approach happiness. Instead of making it a long-awaited goal, consider what's made you happy on a regular basis. That may be with family, friends, or loved one, or doing a certain activity, such as painting, cycling, or even cooking. Give yourself a permission to schedule these moments of happiness into your life on a regular basis. If me, I find happiness while baking, so I bake a lot. Even before this real stage, I bake. So I really hope that people really find an activity that makes them happy like me. Point 3. Practice looking inwards. The third step is to practice looking inwards with a view to discover happiness from within you. This is an activity that takes effort, time, but makes a worthwhile habit. Start regularly, check in with yourself, and identify how you feel it. If you feel stressed, try implementing a stress management strategy, or even if you feel like you could take better care of yourself, try setting up a self-care plan. Point 4. Build your self-esteem. Once you started checking in yourself, you can also begin to address any area that may be troubling you. Often, internal problems can reduce self-esteem, so it may be worth spending some time looking after you. Be present. Point 5. Be present. Similarly to practicing looking inwards, taking time to be present across your day will enable you to truly take in your surroundings and connect with your emotion on a deeper level. Practicing mindfulness at work is becoming a new strategy that businesses like Google and also Facebook, I think I searched Google and Facebook are encouraging their staff to do so. Being present may also enable you to experience happiness on more regular basis and on deeper level. Point 6. The final step of my six-step process is take time to appreciate yourself. Appreciate your work, your life, your accomplishment. You can find happiness by simply reflecting on the past happening or some achievement like you win singing competition, drawing competition, or other simply pleasant experience. In my search for happiness, I always focus on the big things in life. However, no matter how good those big things make us feel, the happiness is always short-lived. The happiness fades gradually, and this big event and things doesn't happen daily. We have a liberty to be happy by looking at little things which occur more in number, or we can say it daily. We tend to overlook these little things without realizing that these little things plays an important role in nourishing our body. So everyone, from the sixth step, point 1, stop chasing happiness. Point 2, remove your own barriers to happiness. Point 3, looking inwards, practice looking inwards. 4, build your self-esteem. 5, fifth, be present. 6, take time to appreciate yourself. All these 6 points are little things in life that maybe we don't realize it, but I hope after you listen to my speech today, you can find happiness through that 6 step. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Shalina. I might need to write that list on so I could take all of them as soon as possible. So Now, let me invite Miss Lisa to give some feedback to Shalina.
Selena, I'm just like attending a seminar, a seminars that tell me finding a happiness. A seminars like I just paid a very nice seminar, a person that deliver a seminar. Yeah, that's true, Today, all of you, your speech that I take note like, wow, stop chasing what you want, remove your own barriers, then looking inward. That is all those things. Selena, I just want to say that I'm proud to see your improvement a lot since the beginning that I meet you until today. With this all things, for sure it is not only because of the platform only, but it's because you yourself take this opportunity to keep growing and improving. So what I want to say is congratulations, Salina. Today you did a very good job. May I know, are you stand up or sit down? That one, sit down.
Sit down, teacher.
Okay. Then do you know, even you sit down, what you are going to do just now, you try to maximize your hand gesture. 1, 2, 3, and you know that when is the best moment for you to not keep moving your hand. And I can feel that hand gesture. And I also can feel the facial expression when you mention like this. You can find your happiness by doing the things that you like. Like just now, before I do the real estate, I even do the baking because I love bake. I love baking. So when you mention about this, I can feel that you really enjoy your speech and your facial expressions, because just now I watch it, I zoom it, right? I can get, oh my God, this is a seminar that I paid to ask me and learn how I can finding my happiness. Okay, Salina, I'm glad to find what is the things that I can ask you to improve. So I think one thing is that even the best can be better. Salina for sure still have room to improve. Okay, all the things is very good already, but I think for the 5 to 7 minutes, bringing these 6 steps, it might be so many message inside. Maybe you can just conclude it like, well, ladies and gentlemen, we can learn to finding our happiness by doing these 6 steps. Okay, you mentioned about these 6 steps. Stop chasing what you want, remove blah blah blah. No. When you try to make this, I'm thinking like it's too many message in a very short time. Maybe if teacher Lisa can give you an opinions, just take a 3 important part. Maybe you can say it's like, today I take these 3 important part to finding a happiness that I have found mine. Even I still keep on my way to find mine and make sure that I still can keep it up, that happiness in my life. So this 3 is 1, 2, 3, and you conclude it. I found mine. I have found my own happiness. I do hope after listen this speech, you also can find yours. Back to master ceremony. I think that can hit the point for the conclusions. Okay, but overall, you did a very good job. Thank you for letting me attending your seminar today.
Thank you, teacher.
All right, thank you, Miss Lisa, and congratulations, Selena, for your research today. So now we will have 1 minute of silence so that the judges could finish the evaluation. All right, moving to our last speaker, last but not least, he is gonna deliver a speech about the effects of social media social media in society. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our last speaker today, Winston.
Thank you, Miss Amanda. I'll start my topic. Today I'm going to talk about positive and negative effects of social media in society. First of all, I'm Winston Faustin, of course, from House of Brilliance. And without further ado, I'll begin my topic. Social media has become an integral aspect of our culture, particularly among our youth. But can we make good use of our social media and other digital platforms? This is a subjective question, which is also answered by subjective responses. It also depends on our perspectives and experience. Using social media or social networking platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and other social media has both advantage and disadvantage. These social networking programs also have impact on today's youth by altering the way they act, learn, and behave, not just in the classroom but also in the real world, as well as they have to socialize with their friends and family. In general, social networking has numerous efficient and developmental advantages for today's society. Most teens have internet accounts to build their bonds with their friends and stay in touch with influential individuals in their life, such as business partners, groups, or maybe far relatives or close relatives. Many organizations and websites now provide social media to help person dealing with mental health issues. As a result, they bring individuals together to share their stories and allow users to sign up for tags for that provide motivation, inspiration by posting something that might make them feel grateful for the day, inspiring phrases or image, and following hashtags individuals who do the same. This is essential, especially for those who aren't used to talking or being there for others. Another advantage of social media is that we can get information and knowledge about almost anything from professionals and studies. Even for me, social media has had a significant impact in my life, such as the development of life skills, and in addition to that, collecting information, and maybe we can also believe that we can share our thoughts on the problems that people posted on the internet. While social media makes it easy to make and meet new friends, of course, it also allows others to be easily tired down. Cyberbullying. Cyberbullying can include sending mean message and DMs to someone who you hate, gaining someone access on their social media platform or maybe their game account, which I have ever experienced before. Pranking someone's cell phone, being rude or mean to anyone in the internet, spreading secrets or rumors about people online, pretending to be someone, and use someone's name to scam other people. For example, harassing or threatening someone by sending mean message through instant message, phone calls, text message, or emails. These internet attacks frequently leave profound psychological scars, and in some circumstances, it leads people to suicide. Cyberbullying isn't a simple problem for kids. Adults can also be victims of cyberbullying because screens cover our faces, so we can unintentionally become jerks on social media and other platforms. Aside from cyberbullying, fraud, scams, and viruses or ransomware is also a problem in social media. Since the pandemic, I think I have read a lot of information and news regarding about ransomware and viruses, which basically it encrypts your data and sell it to other people. And if you didn't pay a price for it, your data and information of your laptop will be leaked and gone. As to wrap off my remarks for today, I'd like to encourage everyone in this room to be more cautious when using social media, to avoid acquiring too much information, to avoid revealing too much. Think before you act and attempt to put yourself on others' shoes. If they have had unfavorable consequences as a result of their use on internet, and if you didn't want to receive the same consequence that they receive, then try your best to use social media responsibly. That's all for my speech. I'll hand it back to Mr. Manda.
All right. Thank you, Winston, for your speech. So now I would like to invite Sir Mashuri to give Winston some feedback.
Hi, Winston. Nice to meet you. Yes. And throughout the speech, I can say that the part where I like the most is the way your voice sounded like. You have this mature and also very charismatic voice, if I can say. And if let's say I was listening to a radio, let's say I do not see your face at all, I would be able to pay attention for the full 3 hours throughout the journey that I'm going through. So that is the quality that I can see in you. The vocal quality is something that is of your advantage, which means you need to capitalize that in the future. So this is your biggest advantage already. All right. In terms of crafting speech, yes, it is satisfying for you hit all the notes for the fundamentals of public speaking. You have the research, you backed every argument with a logical and also research, and you added elements of personal stories inside it. Now, if let's say if I were to summarize, if I were to expect higher from the performance, I feel that this speech is only needing more emotional connection. You are hitting all the logical appeal for people to care about social media. Whereby in when I was studying psychology, and I throughout the life that I uh, journey of my life, basically, I feel that people are making decisions not based on logical only, but more toward emotional decision making. All right. So if you were to ask people to act on something, make sure you have appeal to their emotional side as well. Not just logical side, but appeal to the emotional side. How do you do so? Is through telling specific stories that is related to what you are arguing with, or what argument you are presenting to people. For example, how dangerous, you mentioned about ransomware. There are tons of ransomware. Yeah, we know that is the fact. But if you were to tell a story of, let's say, a friend of yours whose computer being attacked by ransomware, and all the files, all the assignments are all being locked, and you have to pay for it. And my friend were crying for that, and were saying we're trying to find solutions for that. But that we trace back the prevention, it was because that he was not aware of blah blah blah. So if you were to tell the story, specific stories that backed that arguments, that could have created the emotional connection with your audience. So I think in your speech, you only need to add those things. All right. Plus, just now I was seeing your hand gesture, you were comfortably using your hand gestures, but because of the camera angle that is slanted, how to say, it's just pointing not as low as your hand is visible on screen. Therefore, it was just tip of your finger that was visible on the screen. So if you were to plan with your hand gestures, you have two choices. Either you lift your hand higher, or you angle your camera towards the position that it is visible. All right. So with that, I think you are able to perform much, and you can create a strong case for people to take action on. So that's it. The feedback that I can give to you. I'm looking forward for your future speeches, because you are one of a good talent as well. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for the feedback. So again, congratulations that you have succeeded in your real stage, Winston. Okay, so now we will have 1 minute of silence for the judges to finalize their evaluation. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of Speaking Warrior Training Real Stage. Dear all trainees, remember that no matter how good our speech is, how good the skills we have, but if we don't have good manners, we cannot give an impact to our own life. SML1 always says that to be a good person, you need to make sure you have great skill and good manners so that it can give impact to our life. And also remember that the school has taught us. So thank you to Nanyang Tsehui School for providing a platform for the students to boost their confidence. And also thanks to all the teachers, family, and everyone for the support this far. So let us make this world beautiful from our small actions. Again, see you next session tomorrow. SML1, making you better you.